I'm Andre J.
Hey, I'm Star.
Welcome to another episode of Exploring the Video Synthesis Ecosphere, where we get down and dirty with these little Raspberry Pi synths that we make. What are we going to talk about today?
So today we're going to talk about Phosphorm, play around, and we have them running together with Wave Pool and seeing how the two interact, as you can kind of get a preview right now.
Yeah, so this is kind of where we ended up. Let's reset things to default, show you what you'd see if you just booted things up together. So Phosphorm, I think I mentioned this a couple of times. Oh, that's super harsh lighting. Yeah, still a special Halloween episode, even though this will be released closer to Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving is a dark holiday too, if you think about it. It's really it's a holiday about genocide and shit, so, I mean,
It doesn't get much darker than that.
Yeah, in terms of, historical U.S. holidays, Thanksgiving is a pretty grim one. What are some other bad ones?
I mean, aren't they all...
Every presidential birthday?
Yeah,
why
come
the
on.
fuck do we celebrate presidents' birthdays? What are they?
Yeah.
What else? I guess May Day's not bad. May Day's an old socialist holiday.
Yeah.
Of course you don't get a day off for that or anything.
Of course not.
But if you live in Minneapolis or something, you have a crust punk parade at least.
The funniest holiday, I think, is Labor Day.
Oh yeah.
It's just
right?
so ironic. It's just really? You're going to reward us with a treat.
Yeah.
A day off.
You get one day off. And
There's
you
one.
get paid, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, most people don't actually get paid days off. Or you're technically supposed to get time and a half if you work on that. Yeah, raise your hand if you've ever worked a job where you actually get paid time and a half for working on holidays.
Cricket.
Yeah. But I mean, the shit, I think the context for that is the workforce used to be you could hire 8-year-olds and make them work 16-hour days, 7 days a week.
Yeah, that was insane.
And then they're well, maybe we have to stop killing our children to build our radioactive watches and mining coal.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Let's kill them in other ways.
Yeah, we can do other things make sure that everyone has to move to cities in order to get reasonable education and access to resources, and then make all of these cities horribly polluted.
Yeah.
New York City, we're drinking do you know how much toxic waste is underneath this city?
Oh my gosh. It's too much.
Wall Street is built on an ancient dump.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm still, scared. Even if a droplet of the East River touches my skin.
I'm actually not that scared of the East River personally, because that's the fucking ocean.
Okay, it's true, but...
that shit gets filtered every day. Hudson, on the other hand, I would not go up the Hudson. I feel if you just stood over where the Hudson empties into the East River and breathe deeply, it's fucking toxic and effluvia all mixed
probably
together.
There's probably some things there, new diseases there we don't know about exist.
Oh no, there definitely are. There's new life forms that exist in New York waterways.
I'm sure. There's...
I've straight up seen it. I used to canoe on the Gowanus all the time.
Really?
And there's a specific ecosystem there that doesn't exist anywhere else that people know about because of there's this gas line that goes underneath the Gowanus. It's just leaking constantly. So there's about a 50-foot stretch that there's just always this layer of petroleum on top.
No.
There's a specific kind of anaerobic bacteria colony that thrives in the petroleum and shit mixture that lives on there. And it's this weird flaky glass structure.
No.
It feels like you're on another planet or something. It's kind of amazing.
Operation Save New York City. Or destroy it? I don't know.
I don't think there's a lot worth saving here because I think in 100 years, New York City is going to be
underwater. Yeah.
We might be one of the last generations that gets to actually just sort of play in the ruins.
Yeah, totally.
But otherwise, like, there's nothing to save here. Like, I don't know why people think, like, oh, let's build, like, some fucking dikes or something. Like,
Yeah.
let's just move. Unfortunately, we're all gonna have to move to Philly.
No. No. Anywhere but that. Just kidding. Philly's not the worst.
Yeah, but motherfuckers just, like, honk instead of going through stop signs there. Like, have you seen that?
Yes, actually.
It's just like, I'm not slowing down at all. I'm gonna honk to let you know that I'm gonna go straight through here. But, yeah. No, Philly's pretty dope.
It's cute. You know, it's cute.
Yeah, and I think they'll last a little bit longer above water. Honestly, we're all gonna end up living in Minneapolis, I think.
Yeah, it's like
Omaha.
It's gonna be a huge migration.
Boise.
I'm not looking forward to it. You know what? I don't know. I may be back in California, but then by then, who
California,
knows? They're also on the decline. Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Like,
That's
there's going to
also
be no water. There's gonna be
zero water. Oh my god!
Mudslides will just.
I was driving when I was visiting back home. All of the routes that I used to take, they used to be filled with either greenery or just like you know, desert adjacent.
Yeah.
Sort of vibes. Just all dirt. Just dry. Like hay. It's pretty much hay everywhere.
Just like crispy grass.
Yes.
Like brown grass everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, or like
mountains of brown grass.
There used to be like these huge fucking like cattle farms there too, right?
Yes.
The stockades. Like, are they just like?
I mean, there was still some cattle.
Dried up like cows. Like,
I don't know what they're eating.
They're just like.
But they're there.
Walking beef jerky now.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's dark.
But yeah, Phosphorm. So.
Oh my god, that is why we're here. Yes.
So Phosphorm is an audio-visual synth. It's the really weird one that I make that nobody ever buys, but like I think maybe like 3 people use it. I mean maybe more than that, but that's all I'm really aware of.
Yeah.
It's a weird vector synth, and it's pretty quirky. And you know, I understand why people are not super stoked on it. But you know, every so often I try to like make some videos and show like why I think it's really cool. You can probably hear it a little bit in the background. So the way that Phosphorm works is it's mainly intended to like plug into an oscilloscope that has like an XY display or like a Vectrix, or if you modify it to CRT to like have it turn into an oscilloscope, which you shouldn't do unless you're okay with dying immediately.
Andre.
Yeah, I'm just giving people warnings.
Okay.
I'm letting people know that these things exist, and they're incredibly dangerous to do.
Fair.
But it also has direct video output. So we're taking the HDMI output of Phosphorm, and we've also just plugged the audio, instead of plugging it into an oscilloscope, we just plugged it into a TV we have on the wall. I'm not sure how much of that is coming through, but we're going to make some pretty obnoxious sounds with it, so some of it should come through.
Yeah.
But the way it works is you have 2 oscillators, they're hard panned left and right, and as you change the frequency and the amplitude of them, they create different like Lissajous patterns. And one of the reasons this works really nice into Wavepool is because it has this really like clean line output, which is really nice for keying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try keying in Wavepool just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, Phosphorm, like all the other synths I use, has like a, what do you call it, like a motion recording thing on. So like right now we're kind of like set it up to like sequence what we just played.
Mm-hmm.
So we keep things in and we'll just kind of like strobe and hum. Let's try zooming in a bit.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. And then there's like a hacky way to add color in there if you invert the saturation and then just like stop for a moment, and it'll just like leave everything saturated at red. So then we can start crank up the saturation and add some hue transformations in there. What's going on? There we go. Something? Wow, this is being really unpredictable. So yeah, if you're confused by the things that I make, just feel comforted that I'm also confused by them too. Got that. Here we got the canonical auto waves pumping out. Let me turn up the brightness some and then we'll be able to see a bit more of the color. Oh yeah. And use that as a seed and try doing some inverted filtering to add some texture to everything. Reduce the brightness a bit so we just have some sort of traily things happening. Phosphorm is also like I developed it because I also wanted to like have like a very weird non piano keyboard based audio synth to play with. I also really like non-standard musical scales. So like the default scale it starts with is like 5 equal tones.
Yeah.
So you can see that it's not quite. It doesn't really sound like traditional harmonies. The 5 equal tones is kind of a bit like what's the one? There's one Balinese scale. I think it's Slendro. I could be wrong. It's close to Slendro. It's not really accurate, but as far as like being really easy for me to program, it worked that way. But you can also select different scales. Do 7 equal tones. So that's a bit like PFAT orchestra scaling. Or 12 equal tones if you just want to go chromatic. Or try some non-octave repeating scales. We've got the Carlos Alpha and the Carlos Beta scales, because I'm a very big fan of Wendy Carlos as a human being and as a musician. Highly recommend their website. Highly recommend looking into them. They're like a very, they're a very polarizing individual. I think because they were trans and also not really interested in taking shit from anyone, and also the first person to have like a best-selling synthesizer album, people got really pissy about them.
Yeah.
I think I remember watching, there's this one documentary, it was like Sisters with Transistors or something.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen that one?
Yeah.
It's like sort of about the history of like women in like making electronic music, because actually like the first people making a lot of electronic music, like people like fucking developing electronic music from like test equipment before synthesizers existed, were like women. But yeah, there was like a brief moment when they talked about Wendy Carlos and like everyone was just kind of like, yeah, they did stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, they did stuff.
I think they stepped on a lot of people's toes, and people are like people are a little bit transphobic too. So
totally.
But yeah, really interesting person. But they developed these 2 crazy fucking non-octave repeating scales that have like super bizarre harmonies. Well, 3 of them: alpha, beta, and gamma. I put alpha and beta in here because they're really easy.
Yeah.
And also just to try to like encourage people to look into more about like what the fuck Wendy Carlos does.
Shout out to Wendy Carlos.
Yeah. But yeah, some other fun stuff we can do with this. So if we just do a reset and then let's set delay time off a bit and zoom the fuck in, and then have like some pretty gnarly like strobe shit going on.
It almost feels 3D.
Yeah. It's like that lightning strike one we did like the first time.
Yeah.
Zoom it back out a bit. But yeah, just a little taste of Phosphorm, the weirdest and least popular synth I've made. Well, Actually, temporal vortex is probably up there too.
Oh, temporal vortex.
Yeah, it's a wacky one. It's like, it seems like it's going to be really cool, but you know, you really got to stage things for temporal vortex.
Yeah.
You know, I think we talked about it in another episode.
Mm-hmm.
Very useful tool for very specific things, but not quite the all-around like spectral mesh and wave pool. You can feed anything into it, and it's going to like do something gnarly to it.
Yeah.
You know, temporal vortex, bit of a quirky one. But yeah, I think that's about it for Phosphorm life forms.
Yeah.
As always, let us know what you think of this biz in the comments. Let us know what kind of stuff you'd like us to cover in future episodes. And yeah, I don't know, we should probably do another contest or something soon. We can do one for like Christmas and shit.
Oh, that'd be cute.
Yeah.
A holiday one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't really celebrate Christmas, but
Yeah.
We can do one for the solstice.
Ooh.
Really prefer the non-denominational. I mean, that was the original Christmas anyway. Like, everyone just like threw another holiday on there to be like, well, this is the god I'm into, and they're specifically more relevant than like the actual sun. But I mean, I'm pretty sure the actual sun itself is more relevant to everyone's life than like the whatever like fantasy fiction you're into.
Yeah. Agreed. Or maybe, just maybe, the sun is your god. I don't know.
I mean, in a very real way, none of us would be alive without it. So, like, it's probably like useful.
It's the closest thing.
Although, I've thought about developing a religion that worships the black hole in the center of our galaxy, because we also wouldn't even have this galaxy. The sun never would have formed if it wasn't for the Sagittarius A black hole cluster thing, like supermassive black hole. Anytime I've mentioned worshipping black holes to people, they're like, you shouldn't really ever say that to people. That's not...
I get where they're coming from, but, you know...
The context of actually saying that is you know...
but this is a safe space.
Yeah. The spooky Halloween basement. I know that.
No, anything goes here. And if you didn't gather that by now, I don't know what more you want to take from us. Truly.
Yeah. Fertilize this shit. Alright, this is how you get inducted into the cult, by the way. Stare into the eye.
Yeah.
We'll just loop this. We'll make a separate video that loops this for like 12 hours.
Oh my god.
But yeah, you want to put this, get like your nicest headphones, put them on, and then don't blink.
Yeah.
You have to stare directly into this.
No blinking allowed.
Yeah, if you blink, you're kicked out of the cult.
Then you had lost the Squid Game. I still haven't even seen it. I just have heard so much about it that I can make that reference.
The what now?
The Squid Game.
What's the Squid Game?
So it's like a show called Squid Game. I still haven't seen it.
Uh-huh.
But what I've gathered is that you just get... It's like kind of like Hunger Games in the sense that you have to compete. And if you lose, like, I think there's like a crazy punishment, like you get beat up or you get...
So this is humans playing this?
Yes.
Okay.
No squid. Or at least that's what I think. I need to get someone's Netflix account so I can watch it.
This is some of the most compelling content you can always make, is just speculating about another program that you've never seen.
Exactly. Exactly that.
Like, if you just told me Squid Game, I would think, one, the main characters are a squid.
I really
Where does
didn't
the
think
squid come into it?
I have no idea. I have yet to see it. I just know the name, and I've seen so many references. It was like if you were living in Brooklyn and you're on Squid Game, and it's like, and what I've gathered is that like there was like people taunting other people, like, and then like you can't move. Like there's all these random crazy challenges. Like think of like a crazy challenge game.
Oh, like a dare kind of game?
Almost.
Like, where you, like, someone's like, you have to like climb the bridge. Like,
right.
Shit, or
and there's all sorts of little challenges, and you have to compete in them, or I think you die.
You die?
I don't know. I don't know. I think you die. I think that's the.
So this is fictional or this is real?
This is fictional.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unless.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know. I wish I knew more, but that's just what I've gathered. I've gathered you just have to do some things, and if you don't do them, there's a cruel, cruel punishment.
All right. Well, free advertisement for Squid Game?
Question
Maybe?
mark? Maybe?
I'm
I don't
definitely
know.
not going to watch it. But I'll definitely like extrapolate from this conversation and ask other people about it.
Right. I think if we all just ask a series of questions, we can gather exactly what goes on in that game.
That's how you
called
learn about
Squid.
life. That's how you learn about Netflix programming.
Right. Isn't it all one big ad?
Wow, shit.
This thing called life.
I mean, technically we're advertising right
We're
now.
walking advertisement, yeah. We're
Yeah.
advertising.
We're advertising, possibly.
Ooh. I like that more.
It makes it feel like a little more playful.
Right.
Yeah, sponsored content, sponsored by ourselves. Other people could sponsor us. I don't think you'd want to.
What? Yes, you do. Roland, if you're out there. I don't know what they're talking about, but I would love some sort of sponsorship.
I think we definitely need to get 5 sponsorships. So by this time next year, this fucking series has
every
gotten
Roland product
5 series. So we're gonna get Roland.
Roland,
We're using the V4EX right now.
We're using that right now. I have the TR8S.
I have the TR8S too.
See?
Actually, I think it's a great instrument.
It is, so we can pair Roland on top of Roland. I have, Roland mixers, it doesn't stop, Roland truly is the
so
GOAT.
That's one sponsorship. What are the other 4 going to be?
Oh, that's hard,
So what do you like to drink?
I really only drink water, but...
Sponsored by the ocean.
Yeah, so maybe we can, get some sort of...
Neptune, Poseidon.
Aquaman,
cruise. Yeah.
A cruise. Disney? The Disney cruise?
Yes, the
Even
Disney cruise.
that.
Okay, so Roland, the Disney cruise. Let's get 3 more sponsorships.
Oh gosh, this
the
is
Squid
tough.
Game. We've already talked about the Squid Game.
Me as the next main character in the Squid Game.
Yeah,
we can
at
manifest
least like
that.
a cameo. Manifest a cameo.
Okay.
Like
At
appearing
least
as.
Right. At least just a moment. A split second. I'd be ever so grateful.
Just like a still image of you. This pops up in the background for like 6 frames.
Exactly. I'd take that.
At
and I'd
24
be
frames
grateful.
per second. That's liminal. So
who else is out there? I mean, Trader Joe's. I don't know if you even can get sponsored by Trader Joe's, but
you could like steal one of their shirts probably. And just wear that fucking like.
I just want to know.
Weird like Jimmy Buffett dad party shirt.
Do you still sell the almond croissants? All right, Trader Joe's. I have that question for you because
that's a good question.
They're so good. They're the ones that you kind of bake yourself in the oven.
I feel like going to
and
Trader
they
Joe's.
have a filling. They have a nice filling.
They have like the creamy like the almond paste thing.
I have chills.
And a sponsorship would be really important for that because going into Trader Joe's in New York City is kind of hellish.
It's an Olympic sport.
Yeah, it's basically like struggling against a sea of like vicious yuppie humanity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got Roland, Disney Cruise, Squid Game, Trader Joe's, Almond Croissant.
Right.
Countdown, the last sponsorship we're going to get is...
Now this we must take a bit more seriously.
Yeah.
And by seriously...
We could just play it safe and say MTA. Give us both free train passes.
Forever. Right. For
because
life.
We're here representing Brooklyn.
We're putting Brooklyn on our backs right now.
Yeah.
We're in a spooky Brooklyn dungeon.
Yeah.
Just...
Private haunted house.
Trying
just
to
hypnotizing
make it.
and inductioning people.
Trying to just make it, all right?
Yeah.
We endured floods, all right? And we're still here.
Yeah, we're still here.
We're going to be here until it's over, all right? And I think that should be accounted for.
Yeah, we're doing our best to make Brooklyn still seem approachable even though it will be underwater and the toxic waste will have seeped up and everyone will have brain cancer.
And hopefully, oh gosh.
All right, well, we'll have to check back in a year, see how this worked.
Yeah. One of those things has to happen.
I'd like to get sponsored by, what's it called? McNulty's Tea.
Ooh.
In, right by the leather shop on, Christopher Street. Yeah, McNulty's Tea. Place is great. Fucking give me that milk oolong every day. Hook me up. See what we can do. I drink tea. I was drinking McNulty's tea earlier. I probably drank some in every episode.
Yeah, I will second that. I will vouch for that. I have personally seen a cup of tea, not only every episode, but behind the scenes.
I'm constantly drinking tea.
So, we can do this.
Yeah, and then while you're at it, give me some gift certificates for the Leatherman shop, too. It's right next door. If I'm going to go shopping,
you gotta go all out.
Yeah. All right, sponsorship, bonus episode, bonus content. I think everyone should be hypnotized by now, so...
Either hypnotized or just completely annoyed.
If you've watched this far and you're annoyed by this, what are you doing with your life? Be entertained. Watch the Squid Game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know what
is the Squid Game?
What is the Squid Game?
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
All right. We're out. For real this time.
Bye.